Welcome. Another episode, another day with another guest on the show. This guy has been on the show before. One of the only guests that we've had back. He was on an episode in New Brunswick, a brief episode. Charlie and I have talked a lot about him. We chirp you sometimes from time to time, Grains, but it's because we love you.
Yeah. So me and Grains go way back, but we're same age. And funny story about me and Grains is we were best friends when we were kids. And in grade 1, I believe, or kindergarten, we told the bus driver that we lied to the bus driver and we said that I had to go to your house. And our parents panicked a little bit because I wasn't at the right place at the right time. So we convinced the bus driver.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah.
So that was a thing that you could pull back in the day, eh? Like you imagine now.
Just told the bus driver that we were
5-year-olds. Okay, yeah. He's going to the farm. Okay, yeah, sounds about right. And my mom probably just lost it on you guys. But Grains, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Rob and Charlie. Glad to be here.
You've been
a bit worried about the questions you're going to ask me in the church.
Yeah, it's a quiz. It's tough. Yeah. Hopefully you pass. Remember. All the listeners are judging you. They're all judging you.
That's good.
No one's judging. We're happy to have you here. And one of the reasons I want to get you on the show, one is because Charlie and I have been talking to you about you so much on this podcast where you have the upcoming Treherne. We all have the upcoming Treherne Marathon. A few days after this will air, the Treherne Marathon. So you're into your taper now. We're going to talk a bit about that, your training. But I also, it's an exciting race, Treherne Marathon. It is your third marathon, Grains?
My fourth, but that was my first 3 are a long time ago.
At least 10 years since you've done a marathon, right?
2022, I think, was my last one.
22?
Sorry, 2002.
Yeah, 22 years since you've
22 years ago.
Yeah, 22 years ago. And Grains, you and I ran that 2000 marathon, right?
2000,
together?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, me, you, and Claude ran. That was my first ever marathon. And I came in just below 4 hours and you came in just above 4 hours from what I recall.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up with you. I crashed pretty hard.
Well, I did a 143 first half that day and a 216 second half.
How do you remember this?
Because I remember checking this data. It's the only metric they had back then. They had 1 point at the halfway.
Okay. So 215 second half. So 215.
That means I did the same thing for the first half. So that's my best time ever.
We ran together, right? The first half?
Until mile 16.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing that happens when you're in your 20s and you just go and run a marathon and you think you can hold an 8-minute mile pace. You don't really know how hard a marathon is, I guess.
I was 18 for the record.
Yeah. Okay.
Grains was 20 or 19, hadn't had his birthday yet, maybe. So we ran that and then I'll say collapsed there at the end. And I also didn't do great, but at least I finished sub 4 and you finished right after me, 4:10 or something. Ran another one a couple years later. But largely you've not run, aside from the recent period, largely you've not really run, right? For the last 22 years?
No, I've done, me and Charlie did the relay marathon 4 years ago, I think, or 5 years ago. We each
I think that was more like 7 years ago, but yes.
Maybe 7. And then I've been doing the run with Robs. I've been doing
okay, so that's where I want to start this story. So basically no running up until last year. I emailed you and I emailed all my friends, all my family, and I said, come run 1 half marathon with me. Come do a half marathon with me. I'm running across the province. Come support this awesome cause. And you were one of the first ones to go, I'm in. That's my recollection. Maybe that's not exactly how it went down, but you were one of the first ones to go, I'm in. You picked your leg and you ended up running with me. Well, the first one in just outside of Brandon, right? Or Portage?
Yeah, the Carberry Hills, the dreaded Carberry Hill.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was hot that day too, right?
It was hot, and felt like uphill all the way.
Yeah, I have my book here, and I'll pull it out as Charlie is reminded that we also did. As I'm reminding Charlie, we also did. So you did that one, and you had never you had trained a little bit for that, but I recalled you did 3 or 4 training runs. Am I close?
Yeah, something like that. I forget what it was the time. It was slow.
But you weren't following a plan by any stretch.
No.
Yeah, and then after that, you did a second one a week later, right?
The last one.
About a week later.
Probably a week later, yeah.
Yeah, you did the last one. And that one you did a lot better. It's almost like you had, I don't know,
it was in the trails. It was more shade. And I thought I had trained because I had a week to train.
That Carberry one was probably really tough, I would imagine.
Yeah, right there. There Grains is in my book. Photo of Grains with my mom. Friendly Manitoba was the leg, and leg 9. So you left that. You must have had some sort of. Sorry, I'm not. You must have had some sort of desire to keep running, because I didn't hound you after that, or did I?
Maybe no. I wasn't happy with that time. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I know I can do better than that, and I don't. Why did I die so much? Like, it didn't make sense to me, and I'm like, I should have more.
What a failure you are!
What a failure! Yeah.
So then, when I texted you this year I saw you at like a Easter or something, or I saw your brother at Easter, and your brother's like, "Hey, are you sold out?" And I said, "No, I'm not sold out. In fact, I have nobody for the first 4 legs." And you said, "Yeah, I think Frank and Grains and I are going to go." That was the first. I think I had heard that you were thinking of coming to New Brunswick.
Well, I had looked, and it was just like, it's hard to get there, like those legs. Like,
yeah, Edmonton, New Brunswick is not close to anything. It's 6 hours from Montreal. It's 7 hours from Halifax.
Yeah.
And St. John is 3. So there was really nowhere to fly. So you actually did you do the absolute first leg with me?
No, Paul did the first
leg, but you did the first day. And we flew together. We flew to Montreal, and then we rented a car, and then we made our way to Edmonton. That was still probably my best memories of that run with Rob was when you and Paul were there, because we were joking and shooting the shizzle, and then your other brother Joe showed up. And those of you that saw that episode know that Grains did a 158,
I think, and then a 204 for the second day.
Yeah, so did a 158 on the first day. This is the day where I was getting mad at Grains. Charlie, do you remember this?
No.
He would like
well, because he was running up the hills. Yeah,
he was sprinting up the hills, and then he was walking down. Grain, or not walking, but like,
are you gonna use that same strategy?
Letting the inertia go.
Yeah. I'm like, Grains, why are you sprinting up the hill? And he would go, because then I'm gonna complete it faster. I'll get through the hill faster if I sprint up it. And like the heart rate would shoot up, and I was trying to follow him. So eventually I said, you know what, Grains, you go at your pace. Because you were doing 6 minutes or 8 minutes running and 1 minute walking, something like that.
Yeah, the first one was 6 minutes running, 1 minute walk, and then
how did you decide
5 minutes and 5?
How did you decide that again? Yeah, you were just like, I'm gonna
just
do this.
Because that's the way my body was working.
I think he was very comfortable at like an 8:30 pace, like kind of form wise, and that's what he could hold over a long period. That's my guess.
Well, not back then, not 8:30. Would have been
I don't know. Whatever that pace is that he was running at was like his most comfortable pace, but he couldn't hold it for very long, so he had to do 1 minute.
And I felt I could go longer with that way. Like I just felt like as soon as
that might be true. That might be true.
And it was a lot of it was just a head game. Like, I just got to get there, and I get a reward. I get to rest.
Yeah, that's true.
I did that with Claude when he did his half. I probably told this story before, but we got to a point where I said, "Okay, Claude, if you do 10-1, 9-1, 8-1, 7-1, and we decrease that amount of running every minute." I'd done the math in my head quickly. I'm like, "You're going to complete this half marathon. All you got to do is run for 10. Can you do that?" He's like, "Absolutely." We did the 10, then he walked 1, and then we started doing the 9. He's like, "I can't do it." So he did like 4 minutes and then walked 1. But he saw it as a goal, and obviously he was a cancer survivor coming off chemo. But you had done some training, so I remember I was going at the same pace, so I would kind of catch you during the walk, and then because I had a hard time my legs were like sore from like stopping and starting, so I was like, I'll go my same pace and I'll catch you up, and you ended up having a really good time. The last 3 miles you just jogged straight, or 2 miles.
Yeah, because I didn't have a goal of breaking 2, but you brought it up like
Grains, you're one of the most halfway. Come on, you're one of the most competitive people I know on the planet. Come on, you had two in the back of your head.
I'm just pulling my texts around that time here.
I don't know.
So I thought you had the goal. So I go Grains. 2 is within reach. All we got to do is cut the minute of walking out, and you can get there. And sure enough, you did, and you got there. And I don't want to rehash all that because we have a separate episode on that. But that, by the way, go check out that episode if you haven't listened to Grains' half and Paul. TRJ, I forget which episode, but so then you finished that. That was in May this year, 4 months ago.
Yeah, both halves were in May. Yeah,
and then what happened?
Then you had your CMV half marathon, which I signed up for. I'm like, okay, I may as well keep training, and I want to break 150, I think, or come close to that. I forget what I wanted, or 155 I wanted to break.
Okay.
And I came close to that. I forget what I did. 150, maybe I got 150 on the nose or 151.
Yeah, that was a good time. Even though it was a short course, it's still a great time.
Okay.
Maybe it's short. I forget.
Charlie's going to give us a perspective.
So you said you could do a 156 on a text that you sent me on
when
May 23rd. Which day was?
So that's after.
After. Okay. Oh. When was it around?
Early May. It would have been like May. What did we start, Grains? Like the 12th?
Right at the beginning of May. I'll look at my
May 8th. Stuff here. So I'll keep talking then. So
sorry. Advice on this one: take it easy.
May 4th and May 5th.
The second one. 5th.
Okay.
Anyway,
so hour and 58 and
that's
2 hours and 6.
So then you said, okay, I want to beat that time, but you had beat 2 hours, so that there must have been some motivation, Grains. You enjoyed running I'm trying to get to your intrinsic motivation. You either enjoyed it, or you wanted a challenge, or you wanted to be healthier, or I'm trying to get to the root.
So the root thing for running for me was after I did, so the underlying issue for me was I got diagnosed with glaucoma, and it progressed really quick over winter.
When? I didn't even know this.
When I went ice fishing is when I noticed I was going blind. So I went to see the optometrist right away. And they said, yeah, you've got glaucoma. We got to send you to the ophthalmologist to get this under control. And they put me on drops. And those drops lowered the pressure. Everything was good, except there can be side effects to those. And I was finding my mood was getting more grumpy and down and just not motivated, feeling like everything was a challenge. And when I went running with you in New Brunswick, just having that goal and just having that time running really cleared my mind. And I saw that as a way to fight against the side effects of those drops. So that was the biggest motivation, was I saw a change in mental health for myself. So I kept doing that, and with underlying goals of always improving, getting better times. Probably I said 156, and I looked, I got 151 with the CMV one. And after CMV, then there was the half marathon, Manitoba half marathon that I signed up for last minute. And that goal was to break. I had sort of been training. I was still running after that. And I did a 149 official time on Strava. It shows 148 something. So I've been slowly getting better. But then Rob's like, you should be doing a full. And I'm like, if I can't, I'm struggling already with the half. If I can't break 4, I'm not doing a 4. I'm never going to and he's like, you did a 148. You can do a 4 now. I'm like, yeah, but that's double. Like, I was done after that one. Like, that half, I gave everything. I knew I didn't leave anything. So.
Yeah, you should be done at the end of a half. But Frank, I think I remember something about your brother Paul. He had already registered for Treherne. Was that a factor in your decision?
Oh, absolutely. Like he having him register, then I'm like, well, I only registered actually this week for Treherne.
And I wanted to tell that story, Charlie. I saw a post on Michelle sent me a post on Facebook like Treherne Marathon almost sold out. I sent it to Grains, and he's like, "Oh, you got like one of the last spots of the race. Like that would have sucked. You train 4 months and your race is sold out.
Yeah,
that would have.
I didn't even realize the race is sold out.
Oh my god, they all sell out now. That's the shitty.
Well, because I was thinking of doing the firefighter one too, and I'm like, oh, that's sold out.
Oh, WFPS probably sold out, right?
Yeah, the deadline. We're past the deadline, so
yeah. Well, that one sells out months before or whatever.
Yeah, that one is pretty popular. It's beautiful.
Okay, but Grains, can I just quickly go back to, and for me, it's a little nostalgic when you were talking about how much fun and how good it was for mental health. Those days last year and this year when I was running with you, for me, were some of the most fun days I've ever had in my life. And when I was hanging out with you, it was so fun to hang out with my cousins on the road. No concerns, no emails, just me and you on the road. It was so fun.
Rob, I think that's why I'm actually super looking forward to Treherne, because like we're gonna be there with both our cousins and it's just gonna be a good time.
Yeah, so
don't expect much talking out of me though. Like
no, it'll be like the last time.
Yeah, but the stories after, the stories after will be great. Yeah.
No, it'll be like last time where I would talk the whole way and Grains would kind of grunt and
I tried to say things, but I'm like,
I remember
how you took it. This is not conversational pace.
With Wolves, that was also how
with Ryan. Yeah. And then the other thing I want to quickly mention before we get to your training is last year when I did my first run with Rob, there were some days where I was like, I mean, I was always pretty high. There were some days where I would just see you on the side of the highway. You would just stop. You stopped, I don't know how many times to say hi to me on your way either from work or to work, because you were working, I think, I forget if it was early or late that day, but you would stop. Okay. You knew where I would be at a certain time and you'd run like half a mile with me or whatever, or a mile with me. And that you probably did that like 5 times. So I would see you kind of on a regular basis. So that was pretty cool too. So thank you for that, Grains.
Oh, it's fun.
So now I want to talk about the training. So you decided, okay, I'm going to do this. When did you kind of say, I'm going to follow a training plan?
So after the first training plan was when I asked you for the 4-week training plan for the half marathon, and
4-week training plan.
And that's when I kind of discovered training plans. And
2 weeks and then taper.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah. Go hard for 2 weeks, then taper. Yeah.
But
I think the taper strategy might be a little different in a 4-week plan. But
yeah. But once I decided that I was gonna try to do the Treherne one, then that was after St. Lob 200 and mid-July. I just searched how to train for a full marathon, and I wanted a 3:45, knowing that there's hills, train harder, and then try to break 4. And I just followed that. I was missing 5 weeks. I had to skip to the 5th week to start off just to do that plan. But I'm like, well, I ran a few halves already, so I'll take that as my base for those 5 weeks. So and then just followed that plan from the 5 weeks and on.
Yeah. So basically, that's why your plan's got these 8:35s in here.
Charlie, can you send it to me? There wasn't a link on the last one that you sent, or there wasn't an attachment.
Because you have to take it out of your. You have take it out.
Was there an attachment? There's no attachment on the email.
Yeah, there was. Okay,
so
I'll do it again.
The way the training plan works, it gives you pretty much 3 different paces to shoot for. It has a tempo run, a steady run, and an easy run. But there's also some other stuff like on the track.
Do you like that? Do you like the track stuff?
I've learned to enjoy it because it's short little spurts, and I know I can see the end all the time. I can see the end of the lap.
When I started doing track workouts, I just loved it, like because it was so different. What about you, Rob? Like you've never really done any, have you?
I did one kind of recently.
Okay.
I liked it. I liked it. Yeah, I've done a lot of my workouts on treadmills, so I'm a little different than you guys, but I did like it. Yeah, it was fine. Grains.
Here's why I like it so much, Rob. It's like let's say you're doing 400-meter intervals. You can really, really push yourself because it's kind of short. And then you get like such a feeling of accomplishment if you like hit your numbers and you've like maybe even PR'd in a 400-meter interval or whatever, and you can maintain it. And then you also know that it makes running at like your slower pace feel much easier. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how
I think I would like it, Charlie. I agree with you. We're alike, so I know I would like it. I just haven't done much, but I'm gonna do some obviously at some point. The one that I did, the one workout I did, it was like 300-meter intervals. It was like
that's pretty
hard
short
for a minute kind of thing. It wasn't quite 400 meters, but I did enjoy it. It was fun. Derek asked me, coincidentally, his daughter is doing cross country, and she's competitive like Derek. And
lots of miles, less pace.
Well, he asked me that. He's like, "What do I do?" Guess how long the cross country race is for
3K, 5K,
2K. 2K. She's in high school. Or
still lots of miles. Still lots of miles, less pace. Is still.
I suggest. Okay, I guess you're a better coach than I am. So I always say
more miles. That's my from what I've read. 1,500-meter runners, Ingebrigtsen, and look at their training plans. They do a lot of miles.
Okay, so I said do 400 intervals. That's what I said.
You could put that in once a week, but I'd say like a lot of easy runs. A lot of easy runs.
Yeah, she's got to build a base. So I said that, as long as she could possibly go 4, 5K, 10K, whatever she can do. She's 12.
Yeah.
But
12. So I don't know how to coach a 12-year-old girl.
Well, Derek's sitting here at the computer and he's like, he's looking at the provincial records for the 2K. He's like, well, actually, let me ask you guys this. What do you think the 2K record is for 12-year-old boys and 12-year-old girls?
So boys, I'm gonna guess it's like 6-something, 612 or something. 640. Yeah. Okay, and then 7.5 for girls or something.
I think it's 8 or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, I guessed a little higher for both. That's impressive.
That's fast.
Yeah, it's way faster than me. Way, way, way faster than me. So
no, you could run 640 for 2K.
My personal best was this weekend, easy. And it was no, it wasn't that at all.
I think I could do 640.
My best kilometer ever was 3:30, and I did it this weekend.
Yeah, no, but okay. So run.
You haven't pushed just
run 1K intervals.
10 miles.
Run 1K intervals.
I'm saying today I couldn't beat that if I had to go out right now and run it.
Yeah. I think not me either.
You think
I think you'd be very close. I think you'd be very close.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate the tire pump.
Like 620. I think you could do 620 right now, honestly.
Okay.
But whatever.
That's fast.
That's fast.
That's fast. Okay. So Grains, you started. Okay. So we were texting a lot early on, and you were probably texting both of us the same question we discovered, I think.
Well, whoever would respond faster, because or if I didn't like the advice, then I'd go to
the other one.
Yeah.
How often were we saying the same thing?
That's pretty much bang on the same thing.
Okay. I know we don't necessarily agree on everything. I mean, I don't know. I know that I don't know that much about this, but I was just trying to help. So if I didn't know, I would say, but like, I know that for sure, for a fact, you needed to subscribe to the more miles, less pace t-shirt.
Yeah, it is helping. But do you so over the course of the training, like I just feel my legs have been getting heavier throughout everything. I can maintain all the paces. It's just it gets harder. Like how do you manage that? Like when
you're supposed to get like that when you're training for a marathon. So what happens is you do that, you put in a lot of miles, and then when you get to your peak week, about 2-3 weeks, depending on what your peak is, like that's normal. It's going to be automatic. That it's supposed to be, because you're training your legs by doing all these miles. You're kind of training. This is how I think about it: is you're training your legs for the last 6 miles of the marathon, which is what matters, right?
Yeah,
that's the marathon. The marathon isn't the first 20 miles. It's the last 6 miles, right? So when your legs are tired, that's how they're going to feel on the day of the marathon. And then once you start tapering, they come back and they become these amazing things that'll help you do a great marathon.
So
that's probably the best thing I've ever heard you say in your life, Charlie. That's so smart, so good.
So I am in my taper. and they still feel a bit heavy. So that's where
they'll come back on race
I'm
day.
like,
They'll come back on race day, Frank. I think,
yeah,
unless you overtrain. It's possible you overtrained a little bit, because I'm looking at your plan and it's pretty aggressive.
It's so aggressive, Grains.
So
Oh,
it's
man.
plus you did a 27 miler and you did a 22 miler. That's kind of the reason they don't recommend doing those long ones. But I'm confident that they will come back. And also maybe in your taper, I know your taper doesn't really have much speed in the last 2 weeks. I would add a bit of speed in there, because it kind of makes you not very long, very short amount of speed.
I think Tuesday I have some speed, but it's all 200 meters. Like it's
that's fine. And then
I would do Charlie. His plan calls for 12 miles steady on Sunday. I would do less than that.
I feel like that, especially if you're saying so you can adjust your plan. That's one of the things, Frank. Like if you're saying your legs are heavy, just do 12 easy. Just do 12 easy instead of 12
kilometers.
Steady.
Kilometers or miles? You're saying still do 12 miles?
It's 12 miles steady.
I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
I would just do 12 easy, because if your legs were fresh, okay, yeah, but your legs aren't. So I'd say just do easy.
I would even do less.
Or do less, like 10 easy.
10 easy. You don't need those extra 2 miles of easy pace. I know it's debatable. Yes, it's marginally beneficial. Very, very, very marginally beneficial for sure. It's not a waste. Yeah. But the benefit that you get from a larger taper, I think, will be more important for you on Sunday.
Yeah, because you went really aggressive, Frank.
Like, this is a crazy intense training workout.
And 12 miles steady is not easy. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't recommend a 12 mile at your marathon pace for anyone the week before. I don't like it. I think that your plan that you've got there is really good, except for that one day.
Yeah.
So just
especially sorry, go ahead, Grains.
Just cut it down to 10, maybe even 8.
10 easy.
Depending on how. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing.
You could put like 2 or 3 miles at your race pace, but not more.
Steady pace. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you texted me, I talked about it on this podcast last week, I think, and you're like, "Oh, my legs are heavy. My legs are heavy," and you had just done. I forget where you were in your training, but I was like, you were worried about your legs heavy, and you had like a 6 mile easy that day or something. And I was like,
it was supposed to be the 7 mile steady, and you're like, you know what? Take a rest day. You need to take a rest day.
I told you,
and I did, and I
talked you into it.
So part of the problem is, so I'm doing these, but I was also doing firewood, and it's in the bush, and you're carrying logs, and you're tripping over stuff.
Yeah,
and that's where it's been wrecking my legs more. What's that?
That's the thing you got to consider, other things that it would impact your freshness, right?
If I have a hockey game or something and I go really hard, I count that as a little bit of something in my training, right? I don't say it's nothing. And for those who don't know, Grains grew up on a farm and now is kind of living in the country. So he's got to cut some wood. Tell us about wood cutting. How long is that? What is that?
Cutting wood? Well, I go find. I should have more wood cut in the spring, but
how come you don't have more wood cut? What's going on?
It's just
busy
guy. Yeah. So I'm finding standing wood, chainsaw, cut it down, bring the wood splitter right there, chop it in pieces, and then split it all there. Walk up and down the trail to move the stuff, put it on a trailer, and then bring it to the shed, stack it, and repeat. And
that's like a 3-4 hour shift kind of thing.
One load by myself takes 3 hours. If the kids come, then it cuts it in half. So
okay, I was going to say that helpers. Remember, we used to always help.
Oh my God, we did this.
You guys, the log, like the piles you guys had. I couldn't believe how long those piles were with your.
That was my favorite. That was my Pepe Jerry, our grandfather Tetro. That was his favorite thing to do. Go and find wood in the bush and cut it up.
You think it was like a mental health thing for him, Charlie?
No, I think he just loved it. Like he just loved.
But kind of like how Claude loves being in the bush. Our dad loves being in the bush.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he loves being in the bush because it makes him feel alive. Like it makes him feel like he's in.
Yeah, he's getting stuff done because he had to, clear those lines. And,
but we had wood for years, and we kept going and cutting wood and cutting more wood.
Well, because the wood was in the way of things, so you had to get it out of the way.
Yeah, that's one of my never forget those memories, spending hours and hours with Papa Jerry. Remember when he cut his leg with the chainsaw?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Like, no, he just nicked it. I think he just nicked it.
There were a lot of angry moms. And
So
didn't he cut a
our
tree on his
incident
head
this
one time? Charlie, did he cut a tree that fell on his head one time and they made him wear a helmet after?
It
nicked him
yeah,
with a
something
brand?
like that. There was
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that one, but
I
yeah.
wasn't either, but I remember that. Sorry, Grains.
Grains, go ahead.
That's okay. So our biggest incident this year was with the log splitter, and there was a finger in the log splitter.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
no.
I saw.
but it was on the flat part. No, Julie.
Julie.
Yeah.
What, did they reattach it finally, or?
No, it didn't fall off. It just
Okay.
got squished a bit. It was a log that was soggier, so it could have been a lot worse. But she was distracted, and Marie-Ange, she was pressing the thing to split it, and distractions. Just terrible dad. I wasn't watching.
My log splitters are man, that's they're intimidating.
Yeah,
So,
you could lose a finger there easy. So you had a lot of work to do. You've been working, and I told you take the day off. And here is me. I've only recently ever do as I say, not as I do, because my first 2 years of training I was in a wheelchair and I'd go out and I'd run my jogs, whatever I was supposed to do that day, which is stupid now that I know. But so you took the day off. How'd you feel after?
Actually, it helped a lot. I felt good. It was the day before is tough. Like, I felt like a failure. You got me out of that mode kind of thing. And I felt good that I had taken that break after. I'm like, I'm glad I took it. The legs feel way better. And it made a big difference, I feel. But it's hard to come off of the plan. Like, I just get so stuck. Like, I need to do this. If I can't do this, then I'm not going to be able to break that 4. Like, it works in your head kind of thing. But it was good talking to you. And then I also talked to Charlie to get the second opinion too. And Charlie said, just rest.
Yeah.
Do you, let's talk about that real quick. Cause like a lot of people who start running have a hard time doing the run. Like, it's hard to put the shoes on and get out the door, right? Was it ever hard for you to put the shoes on and get out? It was, I'm sure.
Oh, there's days I am like, oh my goodness, it's raining. I really don't want to. That's a good excuse not to go. I'll wait till later on that it slows down. Or when it was 28 degrees, I'm like, oh, this is going to be tough. But then I flipped around at one point. I'm like, perfect. I need this heat training. Let's just do it and see how it goes. The thing is, I know at the end of the run, I'll feel good no matter what. Even if the legs are done, I know I'll feel good. Like, after every long run, it feels awesome to be done. Just like, and it flies by somehow. Like, my first kilometers are always okay. Just don't even think about how long. Just get through that first and just start counting down. And let's just. I put bottles for water every now and then. And I just need to get to my water bottle, and then we'll keep going and see how we feel after that kind of thing.
You drive out ahead in the morning and you drop them off every 4 or 5 miles.
The night before, I prep a water bottle. I put a bit of Gatorade in my water and put a granola bar or 2. And I always just do a there and back, so I have that same water bottle again. So every 7 or 8 kilometers, I just have something.
But you have to be careful, because in the RM or Rockery, their water bottles have been known.
They've been known to get stolen.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I keep
one time
it happened.
I keep finding some. Like, I find them. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. There's a water bottle here.
Oh, Jayla left her water bottle somewhere.
Yeah, Jayla, she runs all over your area. Did you find it? Okay, so you took that rest day. It was hard. You felt like a failure. Afterwards, you're okay with it. You're like, okay,
I'm okay with it now.
Yeah.
And I'm even debating taking another one here tomorrow. Like, it's just a 5 kilometer tomorrow, just easy. I'm thinking of taking that one. My right leg is tight. I think it's from running. I was talking to a coworker, and he thinks it's from just running on the road at an angle all the time.
No, running at an angle is no good.
In the last episode that you've probably listened to already, I talked about how this injury that I've had, in the side of my hip happened as a result of me running in Bismarck on a side hill in the hills. And it forced a weird thing, and it's tight and it's been uncomfortable, and hopefully it doesn't impact my Treherne run, but it's been problematic, and like I'm resting, and it sucks. It sucks to have these stupid injuries. So maybe you should take a day off.
Are you always on the same side of the road, Frank?
Me? Well, I'm trying to counter traffic mostly when I'm on the provincial road, but it depends. Like,
it's funny, when I was injured, when I first got my plantar fasciitis, I remember I would like try to find places that were slanted. Like one slant I could not handle at all, but the other slant I was okay with. So I'd like try to find little spots.
So you're running like into traffic or against traffic? You didn't
remember we were going down the hill at I think it was LA, and I was like, oh, I gotta move over here because the slant. I
remember that. Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, that's when it was pretty bad, and you were recovering then. You had already kind of mostly recovered, or?
Yeah, I was pretty good. It was pretty good by then, yeah. But
do you have injuries then, Grains? Like, because that's kind of not good to have a tightness a week before your big race.
I know. So that's been my scare the last 3 weeks, that I get injured or I get sick.
Yeah.
And it plays in my head. So I don't want to believe it's an injury. So I'm not telling myself.
I'm going through this.
Yeah. You never want to believe it. You always try to find another explanation. So, yeah. Of course.
Yesterday I did a run yesterday, and I probably shouldn't have, but I'm like, no, I'm not injured. And I know that I still feel something when I'm running, but I was able to hit the times I wanted, and I'm like, okay, I got this. But yeah, probably deep down I have something, but
so one of the things that
I need to roll them, I'm guessing more.
Yeah, Frank, I was just gonna say, one of the things that can help is, like, for me, one of the things I learned when I got injured with my plantar fasciitis is a lot of these injuries stem from, like, your muscles get really tight in certain areas, and then your body doesn't like it, and it overreacts, and it creates this inflammation. So if you can stretch, I would say, especially, I don't know how, depends on the person, but for me, it was always my calves and my hamstrings. You don't want to stretch it before a run, but you do it after. And then also foam roll kind of whatever areas that are, because it's all linked, like whatever that is behind your hip, it's likely caused by potential tightness in your hamstring and your calf, but most likely the calf, I would say, for most people. So if you start stretching your calves,
it's the side of the calf, though, that for me, it's weird, this one. Like, I don't know.
Because of the angle, probably.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was thinking of going for a massage to see if that helps. And then I've been rolling it a bit here and there, and I stretched it yesterday at work before the run, and then I stretched lots after.
But even not just your hip, like even your calf and even your foot, like stretch the whole thing. Your calf, your hamstring.
I gotta find stretches for those.
Yeah, calves are easy to find, and hamstrings, you'll find them. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in journaling your thoughts about your injuries, so that you can go back and read exactly how you felt, and then you can evaluate how you felt 2 weeks later to see if, like, to try to slowly figure out this mental game about injuries. Like, am I injured? Is this going to ruin my race? Like, we go through all this pattern. Should I be running? Is this a real injury, or is this me just getting into my head and being paranoid that I have a race in a week? And because that's the battle. We don't know. Like, we don't have enough experience to know. And Charlie, you're probably getting that experience, and I'm starting to get it. But
no, I don't know if I am terrible at, like, I'm Frank. I'm like Frank, and I do not ever want to believe that anything's an injury. And I know it's a weakness of mine, but I do write down. I write it down in my training peaks anytime I feel a little bit something. But I know that it's like, if I write something in training peaks,
it's permanent. It's my record.
Is Patrick gonna, like, reduce my volume, even if it's just a little thing? Like, but at the same time, it's good for him to see. Sometimes he tells me, okay, that's not a big deal. Let's keep an eye on this, right? Or take a rest day, take an easier day, right? So it's good to have Patrick kind of overseeing my injuries, but at the same time, I probably understate them a little bit.
The best thing we could do is be transparent about how we're actually feeling and open up our journal to our coach so that he can go, okay, you've been this down before. This is not good. Or last 2 times you had this, it wasn't a real injury or whatever. So I'm trying to be better at that, but that is so hard. Is this a realinjury.com, right? Every time.
Yeah.
Same thing I'm going through right now. Is this real? Is this going to impact me? I think it's fine. I think it's nothing.
I feel like you have a really good resource though in
Joel and Q. Yeah.
Q.
Yeah, Q's unreal. I love going to see him because even if he wasn't the best physiotherapist I've ever seen, at a minimum, he's so good for my mental psyche because his bedside manner is unbelievable. He knows how much I run. He knows what my body's capable of. And I think he's very good at putting me back into a good place. Grains, I want to ask you let's talk about Raceday.
Okay.
And then I want to talk a bit about general. So you're going out with your kids are running that day, right?
Yeah. So that was the talk this morning. I'm like, well, Rob's interviewing me today and you're not signed up. And I don't want to tell them like that you're signed up if you're not doing it. It's like, no, I can do this. Even she's getting her braces the day before. And she's like, I don't know. I'll be so sore. I won't be. I'm like, well, that's up to you. I can't tell Rob that but yeah, she's decided she's going to run. My son's like, yeah, I'm running. I'm not training. I'm just going full out. I'm like, okay.
He's you.
Classic 18
20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And then,
now my other daughter might be running too. So
what distances are they running?
The 5K. They're going to do the 5K. So
are you making them pay for that?
No.
The registration fee? Yeah. Okay. No. You're paying for that.
We're paying for it.
So you're going to drive out there on your own.
Yeah. Maybe Paul will jump in.
Okay. So, Charlie, we'll probably go together, I would imagine. So have you thought about your race day pace? And I think I should ask Charlie what he thinks because Charlie's probably already figured it out.
I've been strategizing and knowing full well that you'd ask me something like this. I'm
couldn't sleep last night. Couldn't sleep. Rob's going to drill me with these questions.
Yeah. And I don't know anything about running. So 4 hours and 5 minutes pace is what I'm shooting for the first half, and maybe start going quicker before that, seeing how I feel. The goal is to break 4. I think I can move into a quicker pace for sure after 9 to 10K. Like in my runs, I've been steadily increasing speed around 8 without even knowing. It's the last
8 minute miles or 8 miles an hour.
Sorry, what did I
say? After 8K,
8K.
He's kind
of whatever. So for a 405, I'm guessing that's probably a 540.
405 is exactly 549.
Yeah, so go out like that, and then bring down the pace to like a 530, and then finish even quicker. Maybe we'll see.
Okay,
as I
that's a great plan.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
that's a great plan.
Feel good at the end. Like I don't like.
That's the key. That's the secret to running marathons.
Especially with the hills. Like I know the hills are all in the first half from what I hear.
They are in the first half. I remember.
I haven't Googled it yet. Like I want to do.
But they're not that bad. They're not that bad, Frank. I think. And then it's also downhill. The second half's all downhill, right? So
I hope so. That's what I was hoping.
There are hills. Sorry, there are hills, but it's like Boston where it's the second half is a net downhill. Except Boston's like this last 10K, but it's very similar to Boston in that your big climbs are going to come in the first half, and then the second half is all downhill. So I think your plan's really good, and I think just take it easy on those uphills. Absolutely take it easy on those uphills at the beginning. And I think based on your training that you'll be able to do that easily, and then but you'll feel good. So stay at that slow pace and then speed up at the end.
I hope I have that speed up at the end. Like
you will. That's the thing. That's why people don't do it, is because there's that doubt, right? That am I actually going to be able to speed up? And I'm telling you, you will be.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's the feeling I want. I've never really had that. Like, so.
It looks like most of the elevations in the first kind of 5K, then there's a little bit of elevation over the next 25, and then the last 10 are downhill.
That's miles?
Kilometers,
Okay.
sorry.
But and the middle part's kind of like there's
Flat.
hills, but it's like flat, right?
I'd say it's flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, from kilometer 15 to 30 is flat-ish.
So I'd say after you get to the top of that hill, kind of get into your marathon pace there, the hill at 15K, and then at the end when you feel good, just give her.
So there's a big hill at kilometer 7. Looks like 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks straight up for 3 kilometers.
Yeah.
And then there's another one at 15, 16. A big hill. And then after that, there's one kind of smaller hill at 27. And then you're straight downhill.
Perfect.
It's not bad. It's a net flat course. I mean, net flat. No, it's not net flat. You climb a bunch and you get it back down.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
It's not crazy though. I mean, but it will feel a bit hard because you haven't had that experience as much. So.
No, like there's no hills where we are. So
as much as you're going to trust your pace and you're going to trust, one of the most important things that Charlie would say is like, obviously listen to your governor too, right? I know your internal kind of like, this is too fast. Like you just pull it back, right?
I would say the only like caveat I would say to that is I think most people's governors when they first start running marathons is not conservative enough.
Yeah, I would agree.
So go a little bit slower.
I haven't figured out that governor yet, kind of thing. Like it's.
So if all goes well and everyone's healthy, the plan is Charlie to run with Paul and for me to run with you. That's the plan. But I don't. Yeah, again, I'm hoping that I'm able to run through this injury thing here, but so I will keep you honest, Grains, and I'll listen to your body as much as you, and we'll talk about how you're feeling, and we'll do it together.
Awesome.
Okay, and then anything else on race pace day? Because then I want to ask you just a couple more things.
So it's nutrition, like nutrition during the race.
Yeah, this will be
nutrition
easy.
Prior. Like all I've been doing is eating. Like on my races, my long runs, I've been just eating a granola bar every 8 kilometers. I'm stopping and drinking.
Have you ever used gels?
The only time was that.
Yeah, but you were able to do that, right?
Yeah. So
I mean, I think it's pretty simple. You do a gel every 40 minutes. One before, one every 40 minutes, you'll be fine. Charlie, do you agree?
Yeah, I think. I mean, as long as you can, if you could practice with it,
maybe this weekend. Try one like every 25 minutes this weekend or every 30 minutes. I have some. I can bring some to you. I can bring you some gels.
I'm sure there's somewhere I can go to Sports Check and buy some.
I don't think they sell them at Sport Check, but they might. Is there a running store in Steinbach or like a nutrition store in Steinbach?
Might be that I don't know of, but
otherwise let me know. I will bring you some. I'm going to Le Broquerie tomorrow.
Okay.
Let me know. I'll bring you some.
Yeah, I would say try to do 3 on your easy 10 miler.
Yeah.
If you can do them every 25 minutes or 30 minutes on your easy 10 miler, you'll be. Well, I'm not saying you'll for sure be fine, but worst case, Tamalo. Worst case, your stomach is sore for a bit, and you don't do another one.
Yeah. Then gels are good. Gels are really good.
You're not gonna.
Yeah. Like I had tried that. You had like a big gummy thing in Falcon Lake, and that seemed to work. And then this year I had the gel, one gel or 2 gels.
There's a reason everyone uses gels. Almost everyone uses gels is because it's very easy to eat, and it kind of goes directly to the right places so that you have energy, and they work really well, I think.
So another thing that what do you guys do? Like, okay, how do I bring this up without embarrassing myself too much?
Deucing.
You got to have one in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah, but if it doesn't happen,
you got to shake it out. You got to shake it out. So you'll do like a.
You'll be. You know what happens though? Usually you're nervous and you get one. If there is one, you get one.
Well, because the last 3 long runs, they're on the side of the road. Like that's what's happening.
You drink coffee?
No, nothing. I eat my 3 oatmeals before leaving, and
yeah. I don't
Okay,
know.
so let's talk about pre-day nutrition. You want to know. So my suggestion for pre-day nutrition is predetermine like a heavy carb meal, pasta, rice, mashed potatoes, whatever, with a little bit of chicken. Don't deviate too much from what you normally eat. Load up on pasta. Have a full plate. Eat till you're full, really full. Eat till you're really full.
But not too full. But not too
like
full.
full.
Like
I said full.
Yeah.
So Saturday evening or your
Saturday
supper
evening.
time?
Yeah, supper time. Like whenever you're eating.
Just your regular supper, I would say. Yeah.
Eat your regular meal, but add an extra plate of carbs or whatever. Just eat till you're full, not till it hurts, but till you're full. And if you don't eat like the fried chicken and the heavy pizza like Charlie, your body will work through it and you'll be fine. Now you should have to really deuce in the morning, and depending on how much you ate, you might, and then you're gonna have a pre-game meal 3.5 hours before, probably when you leave LeBroke.
Well, before leaving, I'll take 3 oatmeals and a banana.
Yeah, and I would say like as many oatmeals as you can eat.
Yeah.
If you have room for more, have more. And if you ate too much the night before that you don't have that much room, that's fine. But just eat as much as you can in terms of oatmeal then 3.5 hours before. And then by the time you get to Treherne, hopefully it'll have lodged and dislodged and you should be able to deuce.
Yeah.
Charlie likes his coffee. Don't drink an hour before the race. Hour and a half.
I go like 2 hours.
2 hours. So like if you're gonna drink water, drink it first thing with your meal. Drink a ton of water on the Saturday, right? Ton of water on the Saturday all day. Just all day. And just ton of water. And then Charlie goes 2 hours. That's fine. An hour and a half, 2 hours. And then you're gonna pee as much as you can at Treherne. By the way, last year, guess how many finishers the Treherne Marathon? 25.
I have a feeling there's gonna be a bit more this year.
There's lots this year.
Well, there's 4 of us.
Yeah.
So, and then you're going to drink whatever water, you're going to pee as much as you can. You're going to try to deuce. Worst case, you're not going to, if you have to deuce on the course, it's not completely lost.
It's not the end of the world.
Well, I've practiced, so
plus your heart rate will go down. So you get a bit of a break, right? Heart rate will go down. You can make up that ground.
It's like my pee at the first mile of the Boston Marathon. It wasn't a big deal.
That one wasn't great.
Well,
and then you're going to drink water every aid station. I'm going to carry your gels for you in my pouch. We're going to have enough gels for the whole race. And I'm going to keep you on schedule with your gels.
Perfect.
You won't have to think about anything except how to tell me to shut up.
No, I like your stories.
You've heard them all now because you listened to the podcast.
But we got to reminisce on all our videos we made. We haven't talked about those yet.
Rabies Man, 7 Ways to Die. We used to do the ones where with the chipmunks, the stop animation.
Oh yeah.
Remember Claude had that. Yeah, qu'est-ce que c'est l'amour? The Grains had the Grains. My dad had that old phone. Remember at the chalet had the old phone?
Yeah.
Make videos with that. And then anything else on race day nutrition or pre-race planning before I ask you one more set of questions?
No, I think to keep heat, I think I'm going to get a lighter shirt. I'm finding that I'm wearing cotton shirts and maybe
wear the least amount of for me.
No shirt.
For me, it's like whatever is good. Like unless it's lower than like 0, you're going to be too you want to get rid of as much heat as possible out of your body. For me personally,
I'd say 3 or 4.
Yeah, but again, and it's not going to be. It's going to be warmer than that.
It's going to be hot. It's going to be a battle.
You're going to want to have like the lightest clothes you can find.
You're gonna tie your pinny, your bib to your shorts, so that I don't know. Do people take their shirts off at Treherne? You could take your shirt off.
That's an option, but he's very sensitive to sun. Though.
Yeah.
He's very sensitive.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like it's a low of 17 on that day, or maybe not.
Yeah.
Oh, low of 9. We might get a good.
Oh my God! Imagine.
We might get a good weather.
Well, that's the thing with September. We're like this is now the time where you could get a phenomenal race day, right?
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was like 5.
Yeah,
But
5 to start would be awesome. 0 to start would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Grains. Last I want to talk. You talked a bit about mental health. What have you noticed what notices in change? Have you lost weight? Are you feeling better? Are you snapping less? Because you specifically mentioned some of those things. That's why I'm bringing them up.
Yeah, like I'm less grumpy when I'm running, for sure. If I on my rest days, even I'm finding if I go out for my morning run, I find I have a better day compared to even on my rest days where I'm not running, because I'm like, oh, I didn't burn this energy
rest days suck.
Yeah.
Go for a jog. My wife will tell me if I have a no run day. Sorry, go ahead, Grains.
My wife has never told me that.
But yeah, for sure, mental health, it has helped me lots, and it just helps to have a goal in mind. It kind of scares me after Treherne. I have something in mind. Maybe I was hoping
the firefighters. The firefighters.
I'm looking at that's what I was thinking of, but that's closed out. So there's a 50K.
You could still get a bib.
You can buy a bib.
Get a big. We'll get you a bib if you want to do the fire one.
Well, now I've got a 50K that I'm looking at for
the one in Duluth, right?
Yeah.
He's exactly like me, Charlie. Like I wouldn't even be at my race, and I was already thinking, okay, what am I doing next? Because this the high's over.
Well, you've got like 22 things planned after your next one. I only have like 6. So
Charlie, you have more races planned than I do. I don't have anything. Oh no, I have one.
But they're very minor. They're very minor.
There's one more race that I signed up for that nobody knows I signed up for. I'm announcing it right now. No, I announced that backyarder in September. I signed up for a race on April 28th.
Oh, the London Marathon.
I signed up for the London Marathon. So you're
right. Yeah, no, you've mentioned it before.
But I signed up yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Marathon tours or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Super cheap.
Easy.
If you want to come run with me, Grains, we'll fit you in.
Maybe I should do back-to-back Boston and London.
Do you want to?
No. I gotta draw the line somewhere here.
Okay. Sorry, Grains. You were saying mental health, feeling a lot better, signing up for another race. You're gonna do a 50K.
Maybe. Like I need something after. I just don't know what it is. The 50K seems to fit in the sense like it's just a few more miles, and why not? It's a trail. I'm not pushing for time. You told me, yeah, you're gonna push for time. No, it's more just to enjoy, to go with the family somewhere and just go see those trails.
Yeah, you're gonna love that.
Who was faster in high school cross country between you two? You both did it, right? I recall.
Frank was way faster than me.
Grains?
Yeah.
Grains
he was way faster than me.
So do you think there's a chance, Charlie, in a year or 2 or 3 we're going to do 100 milers with Grains?
I don't know about 100 miles.
Well, you're talking about 50K already.
50K. That's way different than
but you just started running like 4 months ago. It's impressive, is what I'm saying, Grains. It's pretty impressive what you're doing.
I haven't done it yet. So.
No, you haven't done it yet. You're right. The 4 hour, that's exactly what I texted you, right? I said, man, your training looks so good. You're on pace. Congratulations. And then I went, no, you haven't done it yet. You have to go run it.
But I have to run it.
Just the journey of it is impressive what you've done. You stuck to this
and really in the end, if I don't break 4 hours, it doesn't matter. I've enjoyed it, and my wife's on board. Like I wouldn't be able to do all this without the support of the family and my wife. And I know it's tough on them sometimes, but at the same time, they're like, I'm coming home and she's taking my shorts and my shirt, right? Like, and washing them so I have them the next day. Like
you could also buy another pair of shorts.
You can have more than
one. You're
allowed to have 2 pairs of shorts.
Yeah, I could. I do have more, but she's
wait.
She's right there.
Time out. What shoes are you using? Your 1992 shoes?
Yeah.
Come on.
Are you using your 1992 shoes for this race, or?
I'm using my Fila's. I didn't go buy any yet, and I'm like,
you're still using the same pair of shoes?
Yeah. Well, I still haven't gone out, and maybe that's part of the injury.
What size are you?
No, I'm not. I'll get my.
What size are you? What size are you, Grains?
9.5.
No, you're not 9.5.
Yeah.
So take what, Charlie? This?
10 and a half.
Yeah, I'm 10 and a half, 11.
No.
Hey, quickly on
No,
shoes.
I haven't bought any yet. And now it's a week away. So I'm like, well, it'd be ridiculous to buy a pair
It's
of
not.
shoes now.
It's not ridiculous. Out of the box.
I bet you
wear shoes out of the box.
I bet you'll fit into my Sauconys. We'll test it out. When you bring him the gels, Rob, stop by. I'll drop the Sauconys and you can try them.
Okay, I'll go do that tonight, Charlie. I'll go pick those up because I'm leaving.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be gone, so I'll stop at your house or something. I'll drop them.
Drop them off.
Yeah.
Okay. Grains, you need the cheater shoes. Like you need.
But I need them back because I love those shoes.
Just try them. If they don't work, then you don't do it. But hey,
Yeah,
Charlie,
that's changing everything, right? Like,
no, it's not changing everything.
Must feel different.
No, great.
You're gonna feel. It's gonna be like you're gonna feel so much better.
Just trust the process. Just trust.
I mean, yeah, there is a risk. They say never try something new on race day, but
it's gravel too. Like, that's the one thing I haven't been training much on gravel, and this is gonna be gravel. I'm guessing at Treherne, right?
These Sauconys are great for gravel. These Sauconys are great for gravel.
So that's overthinking. It'll be fine, Grains.
Okay,
Charlie, I want to ask you quick. If Grains was looking to buy, I think I want to buy a couple new pairs of cheater shoes. And I love my Nikes, and I'm like my Vaporflies I've taken over as my favorite shoes. They recently passed my Alpha Flies.
Really?
They're half a size smaller, and I don't know. I love them. What other brand should I get? The Adipro.
Well, you got to get the A6 Metaspeed, and you got to get the Adidas Adios Evo. Those are the two top brands besides Nike.
What's the second one?
So
Adidas
Adios Pro Evo or something like that. Google it. Just look at who the world record, the ladies' world record was run in those. I think.
Okay. So what makes these shoes so good? Like, why get those two shoes? Like,
you know what he sounds like right now, Charlie? He sounds like you. Before
he sounds like himself. That's how he's been his whole life.
You and him are the same. You're doubting. It's impossible that something could possibly help me, and yet we're like, it does, and until he tries it and sees it for himself. So Charlie, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think the thing is, Frank, that depending on how you run, different shoes, but these shoes have been proven to be more efficient. In other words, you spend less energy to run at the same pace. Basically, to me, it's like
8 heartbeats or something. Or
to me, it's like 20 seconds a mile for the at least for the Alpha Flies. And I don't know these as much, but you feel it. You absolutely feel it when you run.
One of the favorite things for me now is to like save them for race day, and then you wear them on race day, and you feel like you're just, oh my god, it feels cheating. Like it felt like I was cheating on Sunday there when I was wearing those.
So I don't know which one's best. Like every person is different, but I mean, yeah.
Can I buy those at any store, or are they like impossible to get?
They're hard to get.
What's the problem with shoes and being impossible? I want to spend $300 on a pair of shoes. Why can't I? Okay. That's life, I guess. I can't spend $300 on shoes. Now that I'm not drinking, I have all this spare money and blow it on shoes and watches. Grains, how do you feel? Last questions. Then we got to wrap up.
Feel good, feel healthy. Other than the right leg a bit. Life is good. I'm excited for my kids. Like if my kids can start running like this and they're latching onto this, I'm excited for that. It's exciting to see them take on some good health habits in that way. They're eating better. They did my two youngest did triathlons, and I thought I was
there in Tinoa.
You won it.
Yeah.
But they were like, I thought at that age that they'd freak out and not do it. And they powered through and they did it, and they were coming out of the water, and Dad, let's go to the bike. I need my bike now. And I'm like, wow, like he's owning this triathlon. So,
and one of them won her age category. Marie-Ange or Julie?
Yeah, Marie-Ange won, and Mathieu, there's no positions or whatever. Everyone wins kind of thing, but it's just
not everyone wins.
Wait, Mathieu did a triathlon?
Yeah.
Yeah. and he did the
Are
for
you
his swim. He's
serious?
like, no, Dad,
I'm
I'm gonna do the deep end one. I'm gonna go all the way to the dock. So it's a longer swim, and he did the deep end one. And then for the bike, he did double laps. He's like, he can choose one or two. He's like, no, Dad, I'm doing two. So he did 2 of the laps.
Maybe I should get my kid. He loves swimming and he loves swimming and he loves biking. So maybe he doesn't.
And he loves tubing too. Holy smokes, he
That's crazy. I can't believe Mathieu did one. That's amazing. Good job.
Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. Like, it's fun to see the family get involved, and it's fun to see to do stuff together, and hopefully.
Okay, last question. Absolute last question. This is tough, but you have to do it because you're on a podcast.
Yeah.
Time prediction in hours and minutes for you. You have to give a number. You can't dodge this question.
Price is Right style?
No, just what you predict.
No, as accurate as you can.
It's probably going to be a 3:58. I'm probably I'd like to be way under that, but I think I can do a 3:58.
3:58. I love it.
I love it, Grains. If you break 4 hours on this tough hilly course, that'll be a pretty impressive feat. I do think you're on track, though. Charlie, anything else you want to add?
And then are we predicting Puz's time too? We may as well predict my brother's time.
I haven't seen. He's not on Strava, so I don't get to see.
Don't know
data.
about his training. He hasn't. He's
been running. He's moved all his long runs Saturday because he's busy on the Sundays. But he's been running, and he's been practicing.
He did 20 miles, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago.
He did 18, I think, last week, and 20 the one before, and
so I think 4:15 for Pud.
Yeah,
he doesn't have your speed though. He doesn't have your speed.
Well, that and he hasn't been as consistent as Frank, I don't think, on his training.
Yeah, you've been ridiculously diligent.
He's doing good. I would say probably 4:15.
Okay.
That'd be a good time.
Awesome. Charlie, anything else you want to add?
No, good luck, Frank, and looking forward to seeing you guys this weekend.
Looking forward to
it'll be fun. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So much. Don't forget, 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around for a sec, Grains. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys in the next video.